In the early hours of March 26, 2024, a tragic event unfolded at the Francis Scott Key Bridge in the Baltimore area of Maryland. The bridge's main spans and three nearby approach spans collapsed after being struck by the container ship Dali, leading to significant destruction. The accident resulted in 2 individuals being rescued from the river, with one sustaining critical injuries. Sadly, 6 members of a construction crew are still missing, with 2 bodies recovered and the others presumed deceased. The aftermath of the collapse has had far-reaching effects, including blocking shipping to and from the Port of Baltimore. Governor Wes Moore described the situation as a global crisis, impacting over 8,000 jobs and causing an estimated daily loss of $15 million due to the closure of the waterway. Have you ever wondered what causes these major bridge collapses and what effects they have on communities? In today's video on VentureVerse, we'll dive into this recent tragic event at the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. We'll explore the likely causes and the immediate effects on the community and economy, and discuss potential prevention methods to avoid such disasters in the future. The background of the incident: the Francis Scott Key Bridge, a significant infrastructure linking Baltimore's Hawkins Point to Sollers Point in Dundalk, was the second longest continuous truss bridge in the United States and third longest globally upon its completion in 1977. Spanning 1.6 miles, it served as a crucial artery for Interstate 695, accommodating approximately 34,000 vehicles daily. The bridge's strategic location crossing the Patapsco River, a vital shipping route connecting the Port of Baltimore to the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean, made it a linchpin of the region's transportation network. The port, a bustling hub handling 52.3 million tons of foreign cargo valued at $80 billion in 2023, employed 15,000 people and indirectly supported 140,000 others. It was particularly renowned as the second largest U.S. port for coal and a leading port for automobiles and light trucks. The MV Dali, a 980-foot container ship, collided with the bridge, causing significant damage. The ship, registered in Singapore and operated by Synergy Marine Group, was owned by Grace Ocean Private Limited. Constructed in 2015, the Dali boasted a capacity of 10,000 20-foot equivalent unit containers, nearly 4 times the capacity of the largest container ships when the bridge was inaugurated. Despite a previous incident in 1980 when the bridge's pier was lightly damaged by a ship collision, the Maryland Transportation Authority had not adequately prepared for a more catastrophic collision. Instead, the authority focused on studying potential terrorist threats, leaving the bridge vulnerable to maritime accidents. The bridge collapse in Baltimore. The MV Dali, carrying 20 Indian nationals and 1 Sri Lankan, along with 2 American harbor pilots, left the Port of Baltimore bound for Colombo, Sri Lanka, on March 26, 2024. At around 1:24 a.m., the ship experienced a complete blackout and began to drift out of the shipping channel, losing propulsion and control. A mayday call was made at 1:27 a.m., warning of a possible collision with the bridge. The ship's lights flickered on and off before the collision, and smoke started rising from its funnel. Traffic was stopped on the bridge just before the impact at 1:28:45 a.m., when the ship struck the southwest pier of the Central Truss Arch span at about 8 knots. The bridge collapsed, leaving sections protruding from the water and cutting off the roadway's approaches. Fortunately, no one was believed to be inside the vehicles on the bridge at the time. Emergency teams responded quickly, with the Baltimore Police Department alerted at 1:35 a.m. Rescue efforts involving the Coast Guard and public safety divers were launched to search for anyone who may have fallen into the river. Damages. The collision with the MV Dali caused significant damage to the bridge. The collapse primarily affected the 3 spans under the metal truss and 3 others to the northeast. The bridge's continuous truss structure was fracture critical, meaning it had no redundancy against the removal of support from any part of it. The ship's impact destroyed the southwest main truss pier, leading to the collapse of the south and central spans, which caused a northern span to collapse as well. The entire central span fell into the river within 30 seconds of the initial impact. Despite being compliant with building codes at the time of the collapse, the bridge's dolphin and fender protection were insufficient to prevent the damage. Of the 4,700 shipping containers on the MV Dolly, 13 were damaged, with 2 falling into the water. Fortunately, these containers did not contain hazardous substances. The ship sustained hull damage above the waterline and was impaled by remnants of the bridge superstructure, estimated to weigh 3,000 to 4,000 tons, which pressed it against the channel floor. Despite this, the ship remained watertight, and authorities initially claimed there was no pollution directly from the ship. However, a sheen in the waterway prompted the installation of water containment booms after authorities detected a small oil leak from a bow thruster on the ship. The National Transportation Safety Board announced an investigation into a hazardous materials spill from breached containers aboard the MV Dolly, including some containing corrosives, flammables, lithium batteries, and other hazardous materials. Tragedy strikes. During the bridge collapse, rescue teams faced treacherous conditions, with the river's temperature at a chilling 47°F. Despite their efforts, 6 maintenance crew members are missing and presumed dead. Among the missing are a Honduran, 2 Guatemalans, and others from El Salvador and Mexico. Tragically, 2 bodies were recovered from a submerged pickup truck, a 35-year-old Mexican and a 26-year-old Guatemalan. Despite the use of advanced technology like drones and sonar, the search was called off due to safety concerns. Thankfully, the ship's crew, including 2 pilots, escaped serious injury, though 1 crew member needed stitches. Efforts to support the crew continue. NTSB and FBI investigate. Following this tragic bridge collapse, the National Transportation Safety Board launched an investigation and dispatched a team to the site. Expected to release a preliminary report within 2 to 4 weeks, the NTSB will later issue urgent safety recommendations, with a full investigation spanning 12 to 24 months. While the FBI was also deployed to the scene, terrorism is not suspected. Singapore's Transport Safety Investigation Bureau and the Maritime and Port Authority sent personnel to assist in the investigation. The NTSB acquired the ship's voyage data recorder to establish a timeline. Potential causes under scrutiny include contaminated or improper fuel as a factor in the ship's power loss. Collaborative efforts between agencies are ongoing to unravel the events leading to this tragedy. The immense force of the collision. By estimating the momentum of the ship and the duration of the collision, the force of the impact with the pier was calculated to be between 120 million and 230 million newtons. To put this into perspective, Saturn V rockets generate 35 million newtons of thrust at launch. The impact on port operations and the local economy. The collapsed debris has severely disrupted maritime access to the port of Baltimore, affecting around 30 ships that had planned to dock there, with over 40 vessels now trapped. The Trade Point Atlantic Marine Terminal at Sparrows Point remains the only unaffected area. The Federal Aviation Administration also imposed a temporary flight restriction around the incident site. The impact was felt in financial markets, with Maersk, the vessel's charterer, seeing a 2% decline in shares when trading opened. Salvage and long-term implications. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is leading the removal of parts of the collapsed bridge, with the U.S. Navy planning to remove submerged sections using barges with heavy lift cranes, including the Chesapeake 1000, the East Coast's largest crane ship. Resolve Marine is the designated salvor, with over 1,100 engineering specialists expected to join the effort. Maersk, the vessel's charterer, has paused all service to Baltimore indefinitely. The closure is estimated to result in a daily loss of $15 million and could take up to 10 years and hundreds of millions of dollars to replace the bridge. President Biden has pledged federal support for the reconstruction, with an initial $60 million in aid released. Prevention methods. To prevent future bridge and ship collisions, Improved navigation systems and protocols can enhance communication between vessels and bridge operators. Regular maintenance of bridges and ships, along with adherence to safety regulations, are crucial. Advanced technologies can also help detect and avoid potential collisions, ensuring safer waterway navigation. Thanks for watching our video on the Baltimore Bridge collapse. We discussed the causes, effects, and prevention methods of such disasters. If you found this information valuable, please like this video and leave a comment below, sharing your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to Ventureverse for more updates on safety and infrastructure. Stay safe, and see you in the next video.